All right, we alive. That's like the first words I've spoken today. Um, okay. Pre-game up. We alive. Welcome to the second watch along of the season, the third game of the season. It is the Nets taking on the Hornets today. We're the last team in the Eastern Conference without a win, so it would be great to get back on the winners list. Given we've lost 6 consecutive games between, or 7 actually, because we lost the last 5 against the Sixers. So 7 losses at least in a row. I would love to see a win today. We got Charlotte. It's a great opportunity to get on the board. 2 great games to start the season off. Obviously, we got undone by one of the most ridiculous, bizarre shots I've ever seen live. Obviously not in person, but watching a game of basketball. I mean, probably had me more surprised than the KD toe on the line infamous shot against the Bucks in the 2021 playoffs, I think. But yeah, I mean, today's going to be an interesting one. We don't have the guys we were missing last game. That is, of course, Claxton and Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson got an MRI and he's going to be reevaluated in 10 days. So he's going to be some time away before he gets back on the park. Claxton is out of the boot. So he was practicing today at shoot around, but obviously a little bit of time off. He's going to miss the Miami game as well down the line. So those two are guaranteed missing for the foreseeable future. But as you can see on my left, well, your right, my left, that's the starting 5 for today. The same lineup that we ran with to start the game last time out. Actually had a net rating of 14 or 17, this group, in 14 minutes. So I want to see this lineup a little bit more. We do have some stats here also below me. As you can see, 21 threes last game. That was an excellent return and 30 assists. So the offense is really flourishing at the moment. The problem is where we just don't have anyone to go with the superstardom of those players that are scoring big buckets, down the stretch in Luka Doncic and Donovan Mitchell. Last game, the Hornets were a very stinky side. They didn't even score 100 points, but that's the most interesting stat there that just was on your screen momentarily. Royce O'Neal has the most fourth quarter minutes in the first 2 games of the season, and I don't want to see that trend continue. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. Let me know if the playback's all right as well, because I think there may be a few minor issues. I'm not 100% sure, but if you've just joined us, welcome to the stream. So yeah, that is the 5. Hope you're all doing well, everyone. This is the opposition starting 5, and this has been their lineup for the first 2 games of the year. Lamelo Ball at the 1, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, and Mark Williams rounding it out. So they've got some good players in there. PJ Washington sometimes cooks us. Same with Terry Rozier and Lamelo Ball. To be honest, they're all Nets killers, really, except Mark Williams. But, there's always an opportunity to get a start today, and Mark Williams may very well take that chance with us playing a small ball lineup. So it's going to be interesting to see that one as well, how that all pans out. But I think the big talking point for the Nets, there are quite a few positives to take out of how we've begun this season. We could, we obviously can look at it negatively and say, well, we're one of only 4 teams to not win a game thus far. I think there's going to be a lot of parity around the league because already we're only a week into the season. Nearly every team has won. And last season, I reckon it took about 4 or 5 games before everyone got a win on the board. So I think that's saying a lot about, what competition there is in the league. But I think there's a lot of positives to take, one of which being Cam Thomas, because that guy's on a tear. He's averaging 33 points in the first 2 games, 5 rebounds. He's averaging, I think he's 63% from the field. He's only missed 15 of his 40 shots, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. Amy, Poddy, and Daniel, welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're all doing excellent. Yeah, so Cam Thomas is the big, well, he's hot property at the moment, I think. I mean, he's borderline untradeable. And, you know, look, I mean, I probably don't give Cam Thomas credit enough because of the defensive liability he's been in the past. But this year, he's been pretty good defensively, to be quite honest. I think, yeah. I mean, you know, against Luka Doncic, there were possessions where he stuck with him and he got us a couple of stops, which was incredibly important at that time, especially given we couldn't do shit for most of the game, given we conceded 125 and Doncic was borderline unstoppable in the second half. But you know what? Like, I think Cam Thomas did a pretty good job. He's offering way more on offense this season thus far than, you know, his defensive liabilities may, you know, provide. So he's definitely more of a net positive. I mean, if you look in the stats section just below me that way, there will be a stat that comes up right now. The 2 nets with a positive net rating, Cam Thomas, Lonnie Walker. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty exciting to to see those 2 flourish. I mean, Lonnie Walker's been awesome as well. Probably, well, I've said this many times before and I've made it clear. In my Future of Brooklyn Nets video, I did say that I wanted Lonnie Walker. Thought he could be a good signing. Jesus. But yeah, I flagged that one as a great signing. And, well, we got him and he's already delivering. So I think there's plenty of potential for him to, you know, get a fair bit of run. I think it's Dennis Smith or Lonnie Walker's spot. You know, there's obviously, it really depends what you want. Do you want someone more defensively minded? I think it depends on matchup and the ability of the offense on the opposition. Like last game, I reckon Dennis Smith would have been a good addition, but he was just poor in those like 7 minutes he played or 3 minutes. There we go. Oh my God, my voice is gone, man. Got a sore throat. So, yeah. That is what we're dealing with today. And you can also see the injuries. If you haven't seen it already, Claxton is out for this game and the next, at least. And Cam Johnson will be out for a minimum 2 weeks from when he was first deemed out. So he's going to be reevaluated in about 10 days. He had an MRI today saying the calf contusion would rule him out for a little bit longer. Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with at the moment, which isn't exactly the largest bit of optimism, or doesn't give too much reason for optimism in that regard, but it does give optimism in the terms of giving more opportunity to some other players. I'm going to have to save my voice, I reckon, because it's already half gone. Jesus. So it better not be a close game, because then I'm really going to lose my voice. There may be a connection issue in just a moment. Okay. That should resurface the connection. We're just ready, or just about ready to get going in this first quarter of game 3. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, we're good to go. First quarter of Nets Hornets about to get underway. Get the headset on. That's when you know it's just about game on. Alrighty. Here we go. Get that volume up a little bit so I can actually hear a little bit of what's going on. So, yep, we know the starting five. Simmons, Dinwiddie, Thomas, Bridges, and Finney-Smith. No man taller than 6'10", and that's our point guard. And then for the Hornets, they've got Lamelo, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mark Williams, the five on the floor for the Hornets. So, there you go. Shot of whiskey helps the throat. I'm not a drinker, so... yeah. Yeah. All right. Although, I mean, if we lose to the Hornets, I probably need to start downing some alcohol as a bit of a coping mechanism because I'm not going to tolerate a loss. Anyway, we're underway. And it is the Hornets starting things off. And it's going to be Washington taking it into the paint. The spin move, the push shot is off, and the rebound by Dinwiddie. So good defense to start, and Simmons will facilitate. He takes it all the way to the cup and the scoop. He gets the roll. And that's first points on the board for the Nets and first points on the board for Ben Simmons. We're underway. And that's what we've seen a couple of times in this game. A few early buckets. Oh my God, that is from way downtown by Lamelo. He missed it. Ben Simmons, the full court pass, and that's a great dime by Ben Simmons. Early 4 points to the Nets, all facilitated by Ben Simmons. A bucket and an assist for him. Washington gets by Simmons, although he got he knocked it out of his hands, nearly got the steal, but the Hornets ended up with it under the basket, and 2 points for them. So they're on the board as well. Ben Simmons in and around it early. Jesus. My voice is really deciding to play up, isn't it? Bridges, feed to Finney-Smith on the outside, who had a good game last time out. Simmons found it in the paint. Isolated with PJ Washington. We're going to get a foul as Lamelo Ball came over for help. It's going to be a side out for the Nets to trigger it in. So early 4-2 lead for the Nets to start this one off. Let me know who you want to see in the player spotlight panel today. If you don't know what that is, it's like a little box I have alongside the box score. So you can look at multiple stats at once. Cam Thomas, good maneuver into the paint, scores off the glass, 2 points for him. So he's on the board. And now the Hornets. Hayward had Cam Thomas in the air. After the ball fake, it's going to be a foul on the floor because Hayward did have a runway to the basket, decided to pull up. But it's going to be a foul anyway on Cam Thomas. So first of the game between both sides. All right. Lamelo high screen. Williams dish to the corner for Hayward. The mid-range is off. The rebound by Finney-Smith. He'll pass across to Ben, who will drive down the middle. Kick out to Finney-Smith, who's wide open. And that is money. 9-2. And we've got a timeout already. So, Ben Simmons doing a great job early. I'm really enjoying his, first couple of minutes. I mean, he attracted 2 defenders, and that left Finney-Smith open on the wing, and he's going to knock those down. You're buffering a little bit. I don't know if it's on my end. It could be. Everything on my end is now okay. It may have been a little bit earlier. But that's a really good start by Ben, as I've just said. If you are enjoying the stream thus far, make sure to drop a like on and get it pushed into the algorithm just a little bit. Let's have a look at the early. Take an early look at the box score because we love to we love to do that. We love to do a little bit of a box score check. Let me just readjust all these values to 0. So let me know who you want in that panel today. I need to... Where is it? There it is. Okay. Let's get this box score updated. Okay, so as you can see, to start things off, Dorian Finney-Smith, the 3. But Ben Simmons, early bit of stat stuffing. He's already got 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 dimes in 2 minutes, We have not missed. And then for the Hornets, well, they have made only one of their shots. And that was, well, we even deflected the ball on that possession. So, and that was also courtesy of Ben Simmons. So a pretty good start by the Nets here. There's obviously not too much to extract from a nearly empty box score, except for the fact that, you know, we said pre-game this team or this lineup has a very good net rating. I think it's well in the positive. So this start should not be surprising anyone. So I'm happy with this start. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with thus far. Okay. If you are new around here as well, I just want to gather your thoughts on the stream as well, especially if you're new. If you've been around here a fair while, obviously you know what to expect. But if you're new, let me know what you're thinking of the experience, this little watch party experience. Obviously, it's important that you are enjoying it. If you're not, let me know where the improvement can be felt. Okay, so nearly 2 minutes have elapsed. Ben Simmons with 2, 1, and 2. 10 minutes to play, and we are... Whoa, that is a quick play by the Hornets, and they blew the floater attempt. It was off the hands of Hayward. Simmons to the corner for Dinwiddie. He got it. Splash. And that's another dime for Ben Simmons. That's 3 in 2 minutes. Excellent stuff. 12-2 start for the Nets. Simmons spearheading all that. Lamelo's off to the left. Simmons the full court pass again. Dinwiddie the touch pass to Finney-Smith in the corner. It's in again. 15-2. Oh my God. Ben Simmons is launching passes full court. Williams with the two-handed throwdown for 2. And the Hornets definitely needed that because they are in an early hole. And they got to be better defending those full court passes. I mean, surely it's easy to, you know, block off those passes. Another 2 points for the Nets and another fine for the Hornets the other way. So 17-6. I don't know why the Nets score hasn't updated. Pretty positive it's 17-6 and the Nets are just stranded on 15. There we go. It's up to 17. Bridges on the drive. Fade away 2. That's good as well. We've got 19 in 3 minutes. We have not missed. Lamelo down the middle. Kick out to Rozier. Gets by the closeout. And Williams the lob. Excellent find by Rozier. And, well, seems like that's their only way of playing offense at the moment because everything else has been a failure. Dinwiddie, excellent find by Bridges. The skip pass to the opposite corner, but that was our first miss of the game right there. Dinwiddie offline from 3. Lamelo, the pass. They're looking for Williams again on the roll, and Lamelo actually traveled. So it's going to be a turnover. This is, bro, Ben Simmons just be launching full court passes, and I'm all here for it. Simmons going to bring it up now. He's got about 4 dimes already. Oh my God, Cam. There's a turnover. Cam Thomas just lost the ball. It's a 4-on-2. Rozier, the Euro, and then he just lost the ball, and it's out of play off the Nets, even though I'm pretty sure we didn't get a hand to it there. That's well done by Ben because he already, before he got the rebound, he was already pointing, telling the man to, well, basically cherry pick before he even launched the pass. And then, you know, if the option presents itself, then he can do the rest. The Hornets miss out of the side out. Bridges down the middle, the dunk. And the Hornets defense was never set. It's 21-8 Nets. This is way too easy if you're looking at things from a Hornets perspective. And for the Nets, well, we're getting everything we want. Rozier, picked up by Bridges. Drive down the middle. The pull-up 2 is good. And the Hornets crack double figures for the first and only time. You can only do it once. Dorian Finney-Smith, top of the key 3. That's off. Dinwiddie tried to chase up the rebound, but that was unsuccessful, and the Hornets will go the other way. Ball from way downtown. The pull-up is off. It rims out. Ben Simmons telegraphs the pass again. Half court. And now Finney Smith back to Ben. He's going to look for the handoff to Finney Smith. And now we give it to Cam. In the half court set, he drives. He's going to pull Williams back out to the perimeter. Excellent. Oh my God. It was a great hesitation, but then he lost the ball in midair. And on the break, Dinwiddie is forced to foul Mark Williams. So it's going to be two shots. Oh my God. Mate, my voice is not doing me any favors today. So, 6:37 to play in this first quarter. And Williams is at the line. He's been there number one quite clearly. Lonnie Walker's going to check in for some early action, which is something, well, we didn't really see in the previous game, but, you know, given we've had to delve into our depth with a couple of absences, Lonnie Walker's getting these minutes over Dennis Smith, which is validated. He's validated that sort of reward by his performance last game. Bridges now, after the Hornets made both. Bridges in the mid-range for 2, and he's had a pretty off start to the season from the field, but he's done pretty nicely to start things off here, making his first 2 baskets. Lamelo gets by the closeout of Bridges, and that's an easy layup. No one, absolutely no one putting a body on him. So Dinwiddie exited the game for Lonnie Walker, so 5 on the floor is the same as the starting 5. That's great ball movement by the Nets, by the way. But a miss by Bridges on the wing. So 5 on the floor, except Dinwiddie out, Lonnie Walker in. Rozier to the corner for Ball. The 3 is off, and he has missed every single 3-point shot thus far in this game. Bridges to Walker on the catch in rhythm. It's off, and the rebound by Washington, who's going to bring it up himself and then give it back to Ball. 1-on-1 with Ben Simmons. And now the switch. Washington on the outside. The drive down the middle. Ben Simmons does well, but Washington does that little bit better, and he scores off the window for 2. So a 7-point deficit for the Hornets after they were in, well, I think they were facing a 13-point deficit at one stage. Walker needs help. Gets it to Cam Thomas. High screen by Ben. Cam down the middle. Stops and pops and scores for 2. Just his ability to distort his body and just square it up with the basket no matter what area he's in. And no matter what direction he's running in. Hayward now backing down Thomas. He's short on the push shot, and the rebound by Finney Smith. Bridges leaves it for Ben. Oh my goodness, Benjamin! Takes a full stride and dunks it down for 2. So Ben's been really assertive today. I'm loving it. 27-16 Nets. Hayward, picked up by Thomas. Nets shooting 71% from the field to the Hornets 44%. That's good defense by Finney Smith. Forces the Rozier miss. And now Bridges to Thomas. 1-on-1, the step back 3. It's off. Rebound by Finney Smith. He kicks it back out. We've got the numbers. Walker for 3. That's also off. But you know what? I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're finding those open looks. We're scoring most of the time. Walker pressing. And we've got a foul on Lonnie. So the first time we're wearing these statement uniforms as well. Probably nearly my favorite uniforms in the whole set. So, yeah. So 3:49 to play first quarter. 27-16 early going. I'm liking this. Dinwiddie's going to check back in. Simmons is going to exit. So I'm liking that rotation right there by JV because you're bringing on a ball handler. I mean, there's been a couple stages where we've gone with lineups that don't have that facilitator. We've taken off Simmons, we've taken off Thomas, and we've taken off Dinwiddie all in one hit. And the offense sort of is stunted because of that. Dinwiddie's back in with Walker. Dennis Smith has entered. Day'Ron Sharpe is playing now, and Royce O'Neal is also in. So nearly the entire bench is in. That shot did a full 360 and rimmed out. The net's the other way. Dinwiddie, high screen, Sharpe. Kick out to Walker, gets into the paint. The push shot is short. The rebound, Richards. And now is that Theo Maladone? He's going to bring it up. He's going to drive that as well. Stops, and then he was fouled. Never mind, Day'Ron is pinged. So it's going to be a foul on Day'Ron. And Maladone is that player that was the recipient of the side out. And now Mille is also in the game. He pulls up for 2, and that is well misdirected. Rebound, Dennis Smith, who's going to take it up himself. He's going to drive. Alley-oop! Day'Ron. The connection for 2. And it is now a 13-point deficit for the Hornets to make up. Maladone going to find Rozier now, who's picked up by Walker on the outside. Screen Richards. Good ball fake by Rozier. Passing around the perimeter. Thor for 3. It's off. The rebound, Sharpe, and now Dinwiddie. So Spencer is going to take on Thor here down the middle. He thought he was fouled, and he's in absolute disbelief. It's going to be Nets ball, but it is going to be Nets ball after this timeout. It's 29-16. I actually need to get the chat up because I haven't seen the chat at all. I only have enough screens for the game and double checking that the stream's all good. Why is Thomas always ISO balling? Everyone else is passing. I think he's like the last resort. I mean, if you have a player that can shot create like Thomas, he's always going to be the last resort if your offense is stumbling a little bit. Being a Hornets fan is very depressing. Only thing that gives me hope is Brandon Mille. Yeah, well, yeah, Brandon Mille. I mean, he hasn't been too convincing. But you know, a lot of NBA fans are reactionary. You can't afford to be that way because, I mean, these rookies they're gonna take time to adjust. Some are gonna be adjusting better than others. Some are just fit for, you know, it depends on system. It depends on, you know, the situation they've been brought into. Like for the Hornets, there's not really much direction there. So Brandon Mille can probably get off 25 shots, make 9, and no one will care. Whereas if you're a role player fitting into a like sort of contending team and you're good enough to play in that team, well then you may score, or you may only be required to take 7 shots, score 13 points, and your job is done. So the pressure's different. Obviously, where you were picked in the draft, that also comes into play. Under 224 total points, 100%. Yep, I can fully back that. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like as always. And if you do want to support the channel as well, you can donate as well. There is a donation link as well. Why is Dennis Smith limping? I did not pick that one up. Maybe that was the reason for the foul. Or sorry, the timeout. Because it did seem a little bit, I mean, granted, we haven't had a timeout yet, so it would probably be suitable to call one. Yeah. But I did not pick that up, so that's a good observation if you've actually noticed that, because I didn't see that. Dinwiddie's has an ankle issue as well. I mean, we'll soon find out what's going on here with the personnel that will take to the floor after this timeout. We will look at the box score at quarter time. I didn't have a chance to look at it. There he is, Dinwiddie, right on cue. It's off. 3-pointer is off. Can't imagine that was the play out of the timeout, but you know what? It is what it is. And the Hornets now will start their offense through Rozier. They find Mille, who's picked up by Dennis Smith, so a fair bit of respect there to have your best on-ball defender picking up Mille. That step-back three is off by Rozier. Well done by Lonnie Walker to be the support we needed to get that rebound, snatch it away from Nic Richards. Dennis Smith, skip pass to Lonnie Walker, who doesn't shoot the three. He drives. The layup off the window is off. Sharp, the offensive board, and the two through contact, +1. Give me that. Early in the quarter, he went for his ankle. Seems to be okay. Seems to not be hindered. Because he looks pretty fine running up and back on the floor. Well done by Dayron. Had the positioning right under the basket. That is off by Dayron. The Hornets have not scored in nearly 4 minutes. And that would be probably one of the reasons for this early hole. They cannot get their offense going. We have a foul, and I don't know who it's on, but it's going to be shots because they are in the bonus. Brandon Mille is going to shoot 2. I think Dennis Smith is picking it up. Don't remember. Can confirm. So Mille at the line. First free throw is good. All right. Okay, and the second free throw coming up now is good. So Mille perfect from the line, and now the Nets through Dinwiddie will kickstart their offense. Dinwiddie 1-on-1. Doesn't really use the screen. Dinwiddie is blitzed. Dayron. Oh, well done. We found the open man, and Lonnie Walker's open for 3. He's not going to miss those. 34-18. And that's Lonnie's first make of the game. We've hit 4 3-pointers, not quite at a good efficiency. However, the good thing is the Hornets have not scored one of those, and they've attempted 7. So taking them at a higher volume and not making too many, well, they haven't made any at all. Royce gets by the closeout. Extra feed, the dump pass. Dayron missed it, got his own miss, and he scores for 2. So Dayron scoring for 2 more. And we have doubled the amount of points the Hornets have gotten in this first quarter. Lamelo, good change of direction. Now the kick out to Maladone, who drives. And we've got a 3-second violation for the Hornets. They were just about ready to score the ball there. It was an excellent dump-off pass by Lamelo Ball, but Jesus. Oh my God, Lamelo Ball is 25% from the field in the first 2 games of the season, so he's continuing that tonight as well. He's 1 of 7, and he's 0 of 4 from 3, so he's really struggling. I mean, to talk about early season slumps, that is next level. Cam Thomas is back in, obviously to help us with offense. Early offense by Thomas, driving kick, passing around the perimeter. Royce O'Neal for 3. We've got 39 in the first quarter, and this has already gotten out of hand very quickly for the Hornets. I mean, if this is proof of a decent team here. When you can lead by 21 and put away teams early, I'm not saying we've done that yet. The next step is actually solidifying this lead. That's a good 3 ball by Brandon Mille. Whoops. Can't score 4 from 3 points. We've got 15 seconds to work with. Mikal will bring it up. They're going to give it to Cam Thomas because that's what you do, except well done. Whoever hustles there, I think it was Maladone, and the Hornets score 2. We made things a little bit predictable there trying to feed Cam Thomas, and Maladone telegraphed that quite well. Anticipated it, and we've got 4 seconds to bring it up. Bridges, pull up 3. Oh, as the shot clock expires. 3 points for Mikal, and we are 42 in the opening quarter. It is an excellent start by the Nets. And I mean, you can't really stop that. That's pure. That is pure shot creation right there. And very happy with that start. Let's have a look at the box score, and you can see 6 3-pointers made. So we're continuing on from that success we had in the in the last game with our 3-point shooting. You can see that already. Well, I mean, look at the distribution of scoring there. You've got 6 players who have scored 4 points or more. Ben Simmons, the guy who was scored for, has 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists there. Dorian Finney-Smith being a good rebound. He's got 6 and 4, 2 threes made. Mikal's got 9. He's shooting it well. Cam Thomas has got 6. I mean, that starting 5 has given us an excellent start. A great platform to spring off. To hopefully shut this game down nice and early. Day'Ron Sharpe's got 6 off the bench with 4 boards as well. He's been excellent in terms of getting his own misses, and you know, placing himself in a strong position to get those offensive rebounds, which obviously is imperative if you're trying to crash the glass. We've had 18 rebounds already, and the reason for that many rebounds is because the Hornets have been missing them like crazy. We've only had 2 turnovers, which is also a positive. 62% from the field. The only guy that's having a bit of a stinker is Lonnie Walker, who I'm pretty positive scored a 3-pointer. But they've given it to Dennis Smith, who I'm pretty sure hasn't taken a shot. For the Hornets, Mark Williams, as Tanny has not missed. It is not really surprising to me that they've fed him the ball because they've identified that we have no interior presence outside of Day'Ron Sharpe in this game, or even Harry Giles. But outside of that, really not getting anything from anyone. No one scored more than 5, and that is from Brandon Mille, who has scored, 5 off the bench in 4 minutes. So he hasn't been on for the majority of the game. Lamelo and Terry Rozier combining for 2 of 10. So that is never going to place you in a good position. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with at quarter time. Second quarter about to commence. And I think as a Nets fan, you're going to be very content with what you're, witnessing thus far. Could you guys miss a few shots like goddamn? I mean, you got to play some better defense. 5 on the floor for the Nets is Dinwiddie, Sharpe, Walker. Oh my God. Spencer, why would you shoot that? That is a step back 3, contested. Never a good shot. Lamelo out to Maladone, and we have an illegal screen on Lamelo Ball. Maladone knocked down the 3, so that's just another, dagger. That just really caps it off for the Hornets. Thus far in this game, nothing's gone their way. And when they've actually made shots, they've committed offensive fouls. Lonnie Walker is going to accelerate to the basket. Extra feed, and it opens up the floor. Dinwiddie had an open 3, passed it up. Dennis Smith back to Dinwiddie. Now he drives. That bounce pass is hideous. I mean, you're not passing to a guard. Why are you passing it to Day'Ron's legs? He can't reach down that far. So the Hornets the other way. Dinwiddie's going to get pinged with the foul. And, how have they called that on the shot? I mean, I probably have to watch it back. I think it is 2 shots. Lamelo Ball is selling the bag. Yeah, I mean, he's having an absolute stinker. First free throw is good. For Maladone. How every bet on Lamelo Ball 3s. I mean, don't even bother betting anything on Lamelo Ball for anything. Because man's not going to provide us a good return. He's not going to provide a quality return, I can tell you that much. If his start to the season has proven anything. We've got a timeout by Jacques Vaughn because Dennis Smith was, trapped. He had 3 Hornets defenders converge, but JV was able to get the timeout in before the jump ball, and it's going to be an early second quarter timeout. Why'd I go there? Who do we want in this player spotlight section, which Day'Ron Sharpe currently occupies? The reason I just have this is because, obviously, if you don't want to look at the clusterfuck that is the box score, I can just put it here for a specific player you want. So let me know who you want there. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. We'll be back for Nets and Heat later in the week, so that's going to be a pretty entertaining match, I will say. I'm not gonna put Day'Ron Sharpe there because I put him there the other day and he ended up getting 2 points and 3 rebounds in like 5 minutes. So I want to see who you're going to put there. Yeah. Alrighty. Really happy with this start though. Cannot complain. And it's proving to be fairly relaxing when you're making all your shots. So yeah, I mean, the only thing that could make this better is if we win by about 45 points, but I don't see that happening. So yeah, Cam Thomas on Spotlight. All right, let's do it. Cam Thomas on Spotlight. If you are new, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. So we can get this pushed out to as many people as we can who are perhaps looking for, they're looking for something like this, other coverage of the game. Okay. Let's see how quick I can be because I've got to hurry my ass up. Okay. Luckily, Cam Thomas has done nothing except score points, so that's a positive. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay. So 5 on the floor for the Nets. Royce, Dinwiddie, Sharpe, Walker, Smith. So a pretty small lineup here. We've got 3 guards. Royce at the 4 and Day'Ron. Alley-oop! Oh, that's got to be a foul. He's hit on the arm on the way up. And I think it's Lamelo picking it up. And that's probably the first alley-oop, Dinwiddie to Sharpe that's actually been successful. Because, man, when it comes to Dinwiddie throwing lobs, if you know, it's an absolute nightmare. I mean, we've got Claxton, who is... Claxton is an incredibly athletic big, and he's a lob threat. And then we've got Dinwiddie throwing passes to someone... an imaginary 10-foot person. He gets a little bit carried away. Day'Ron's missed his first 2 free throws. I think that's probably the only area needing improvement at this point in time. We haven't really gotten to the line enough. And when we have, it's been this guy taking the free throws. He makes 1 of 2 and splits the pair. The Hornets going to give it to Ball. Picked up by Dennis Smith. A couple screens are set for him. Good defense, Dennis Smith. Ball missed the layup. The rebound by Sharpe. Well done. It wasn't clean, but he got it done. Dinwiddie to Smith in the corner. Good drive, Smith. Well done by Nic Richards, who forced the miss. Had to get it up and over him. Blocked by Day'Ron. And... what the hell's going on? It's a foul on Dennis Smith. Day'Ron, good chase down. It's a foul under the basket by Dennis Smith on Nic Richards. That's who he was boxing out, obviously. A big size mismatch there. The Hornets will reset now. They got 13 to shoot. Pass to the corner for Mille. The switch now. Dennis Smith picking him up. Good turn by Mille. He scores for 2 in the mid-range. And the Hornets cut it down to 16. So the Nets offense has sort of hit a little bit of a wall early in the second quarter. Dinwiddie skip pass to the corner. Oh, that's a good move by Lonnie Walker to create the separation, and he scores in the corner for 3. 46-27. Walker's been... I just love watching this guy play. He's pretty smooth with it. Rhythm 3 for Washington. That's good. And you can't be giving that much space. One pass away. Walker now. Good response by the Hornets. We've got an illegal screen by Sharp. And we've got a turnover. So Hornets have an opportunity to cut the deficit a little bit more here. So Sharp with the turnover and the foul. 2 in 1 hit. Alrighty. So Rozier now. Screen set and the switch. Washington going to back down Smith. The kick out, the 3. And that is short. It was online. In transition, Walker. The Hornets do well in transition to hold us up. And we're going to have to slow things down. And Dennis Smith against his former ball club is going to facilitate the offense. The moving 2 is good. And I didn't think he's a mid-range kind of shooter. But he proves me wrong on that occasion. And now Richards. Handoff to Rozier again. A bit of two-man play. Good defense by Sharp and Smith. But Rozier falling to the floor off the glass. The banker. And so it's back to 16. It's been hovering at this margin for some time now. The screen by Royce. Dinwiddie is now in an isolation with Washington. 1-on-1. Is he going to shoot a 3? Nope, he's going to bypass him. The scoop, high off the window, it's off. And another foul. That is a joke. That is the biggest flop I've ever seen, but he got what he set out to achieve. And that was the foul. And he got it. And Dayron's now going to have to go to the bench because he's picked up 3 fouls in quick succession. This is a Dayron-esque performance if I've ever seen one. You know, picking up quick fouls in quick succession. So I don't think he's been on for more than half a dozen minutes and he's already gotten 3 fouls. Clax giving him some words of encouragement on the bench. We restart now. Rozier, that's a quick bypass. Blocked by Finney-Smith. And the rebound by Simmons, who's back in the game after a stint on the bench. The pass. Oh my God, who is on Royce? It's a wide open 3 and he knocks it down. And that's what you're on the court for, Royce. And he doesn't disappoint there. So 51-32 now. Royce with a couple of 3s in this game. Rozier to Washington. The handoff to Mille. Picked up by Lonnie, getting some serious attention. The push shot is off. And the follow is good. The Nets are claiming that it was a Charlotte player who knocked the ball out of the basket, which in that case would have been an offensive interference, but it is going to count as a 2. The defense is pretty good at the moment. I mean, Charlotte don't have too many creators out there. Bridges, good extra feed to Finney-Smith, who goes down the middle, and he was tripped up by Richards. And that is also a pretty debatable call because I don't think Richards really did anything on that play. Seemed like someone imaginary just took the legs out from underneath. I think he may have stood on Maladone's foot. Richards goes to the bench. Walker also exits the game, having played some very good minutes. Cam Thomas is back in as the replacement for Lonnie. So at the 7:28 mark, Nets with 51 points already. Last game they scored 59. The game before that, I believe they scored 63. So well on track to exceed that mark. I don't really know what's going on here. A fair bit of a hold up. Finney-Smith now at the free throw line, going to shoot 2. And the first free throw is a brick. So we cannot make our free throws at this point. A mass exodus for the Hornets. They've got Washington, Maladone, Richards went to the bench before, and I don't know who else. They've brought in a few, though. Doe makes the second, so we are 2 of 5 from the line. The Hornets have not missed their 6 free throws. Not one. Mille, one-on-one with Cam Thomas. Now Rozier. The switch. Pass wide. Down the middle. Mille, the scoop. That's good. And that's why it was the number 2 pick. Plays like that. Bridges. Attracts attention. What the fuck was that? We have a turnover. It is Hornets ball. And it was Bridges who threw it out of play. Found himself trapped in the corner. The Hornets resume. The pull-up 2 by Mille is off. And we hustled to get the rebound. It was a good box out by Finney-Smith. Simmons now. One-on-one. Bridges was open momentarily. And that's another Bridges turnover. He's in awe how there was no foul. That's the second turnover in 2 possessions by Mikal. Rozier to the cup. He missed it. The rebound, Finney-Smith. He's been really physical on the interior. You know, boxing out and ensuring Mark Williams doesn't have life made easy. Simmons is one-on-one with Thor. Kick out to Royce. That was a bit of a dodgy pass. We got 7 to shoot. And thus we pass it to Cam Thomas to play make. And he was fouled. And that's exactly why you give him the ball. That's why he's on the court. When you're in a little bit of a muddle offensively, you give it to Cam Thomas and he can bail you out with a little bit of shot creation there. You know, the Hornets had to foul because otherwise Cam Thomas got an easy 2 under the basket. So 2 shots coming up for Cam Thomas. The scoreline is 52-36, a 16-point lead. Cam Thomas misses a free throw now. So it seems like it's a bit contagious at the moment. No one can make a damn free throw. And the second is good. So the Nets are now 3 of 7 from the line. So we've now taken more free throws than the Hornets, but 3 less makes. Rozier. Hayward. Faked the handoff. Got under the basket. And the defense collapsed. And was able to force the miss. Cam Thomas on the break. Oh my god, he thought there was a goaltend. The Hornets the other way after the block. And a foul by Ben Simmons after Mille took it down the lane. So 2 shots for Brandon Mille. Let's have a look at the Cam Thomas. Was this a... Nope, it was not a... Wasn't a goaltend. Clean block, Brandon Mille. So defense leading to offense. And Brandon Mille is now going to get 2 shots at the line. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. We are on the road to 2,000 subs. And it would be awesome if we could get that number growing just a little bit. Keep it ticking over. Ben Simmons, going to drive. Mate, you got to take it all the way. Cam Thomas, that's a foul. Oh, and he nearly got it to go as well. He had Brandon Mille in the air. Right at the edge of the paint. It's going to be 2 shots more for Cam Thomas. Doing a really good job here. Okay, so never mind. I look back on the play that I thought Cam Thomas was arguing the point for goaltending. No, it was because Rozier absolutely pounded his arm. But the referee obviously turned a blind eye. So, nonetheless, we move forward. That's in the past now. It's 54-38. Cam Thomas at the line made his first free throw. The second free throw is good. And he's made 2 of his 3 tonight. So the Nets getting to the free throw line when the offense has sort of stalled a little bit after we scored 42 in the opening. Only 13 in this quarter, obviously. Rozier. High screen by Williams. Thor drives on Ben. Good defense. Bounce pass to Rozier. The block by Bridges. And then he got it slapped out of his hands. Ben Simmons recovered it well. Ben, you've got an open man. The no-look to Finney Smith in the corner was the wrong option. He had Royce wide open. And then we turn it over. And then Ben knocks it out of bounds. And it landed right in the lap of, I believe, Harry Giles. Sitting on the bench. But dude, what is Ben thinking? That's a case of overcomplicating things. You had a wide open Royce for about 15 years. I'd grown grey hairs by the time he actually got picked up. Rozier on the catch from the inbounds. It's 3 points, and the Hornets get it down to 14. I haven't remembered a time where it was this low of a margin. Ben on the drive, and he is fouled. And that's great assertion by Ben. He had Thor picking him up, and I don't think he would be overly comfortable picking up a player that's 6'10 with that much pace. Good physicality there. He tried the reverse. It's going to be a foul. It's going to be 2 shots. Let's see if Ben can make both of these. I mean, all those training videos, I hope you can make both. First free throw of the year for Ben is badly off. My goodness, that is hideous. It's almost like once he enters an actual arena, he just completely loses the ability to shoot free throws. And that one gets the shooter's bounce. 56-41. Under 5 minutes to play. Second quarter. The Hornets will give it to Brandon Mille. Rozier. Good cut by Hayward along the baseline, and Royce O'Neal was caught napping. So, Hornets hanging around. Hornets are hanging around here. Simmons. The good thing about having small ball lineups is that Dorian Finney-Smith is sending Mark Williams to the perimeter. And obviously that's opening things up in the paint for things like that. The Royce O'Neal layup uncontested. Just blew right by 2 Hornets defenders. And, wow, the Hornets have had 8 more shots in this quarter. 16 shots to 8. We've only had 4 field goals made. It's probably due to all those free throws we're being taking. Good defense by Bridges. Forced the pass by Rozier. Mille, the contested 3. That's good. Brandon Miller's got 16. Trust us to play a rookie into form. Simmons, gonna drive. Falling out of play. Great pass to Royce. And the 3 is short. The rebound, Rozier. They can cut it to single figures in the back end of this first half. Rozier one-on-one. Pass to Thor. Now to Hayward. The drive down the middle. Good defense, Simmons. And Mille again. That's off this time. And the rebound by Williams. Thor in the mid-range. He got it. 10-point game. And so I think we've just got to calm things down here. And that's what JV is indicating. We give it to Bridges. And the ball just trickled off his leg. Turnover. 2-on-1. Williams the throwdown for 2. And we've got a timeout. It's an 8-point game. Man, Mikal is having a bit of a stinker here, man. He's just turning the ball over way too often. It's stuff like that. If you want to calm things down and if you want to slow down the tempo, you give the ball to Cam Thomas and you sit Bridges in the corner, not the other way around. Because Cam Thomas can cook in ISO. I mean, Mikal Bridges can do that, but not nearly at an effective rate as Cam Thomas can. It's down 8. Let's have a look at why the deficit has been reduced so significantly from the first quarter. Okay, let me have a look. So let me just fix the spotlight. Cam Thomas is just 9 points and then straight donuts elsewhere. But if I get the box score up, let's have a look. Let's have a little bit of a suss. Shooting hasn't actually gone down. The problem is the 6 turnovers in this second quarter. And Mikal Bridges has 4 of those. Excuse me. I don't actually know if he had any at quarter time, but he's got 4 in total. And he hasn't taken a shot in this quarter as well. So I think that's credit to the Charlotte Hornets defense. The rebound number has also diminished. We've only had 7 boards in the quarter, and I wonder why. It's probably because the Hornets are making more shots. We'll look at that in just a moment. But yeah, our shooting's not bad. Our free throws probably leaving a little bit on the table there. No players scored in double figures for the Nets, which is pretty baffling given we've scored 58. But if we look at the Hornets now, you would probably remember that their shooting was a little bit whack. It still is, but they have made 4 of their last 6 3-pointers, and on top of that, they've got 6 more shots than the Nets. Their free throw number, they've also made 2 more, having taken 3 less. Their assist number is at 16, so they are really passing the ball around well, and their turnover number is at 3, so they haven't really... they've looked after the basketball. Brandon Miller's got 16. That is a great performance from him. Mark Williams with 12. The only other scorer in double figures, they haven't really played Lamelo Ball. I mean, he's only played 12 minutes, the least of the starters. He's been chucking up bricks left, right, and center, and that's probably why they were in this early hole. So, they've done well to, fight their way back into the game gradually. Brandon Mille kind of nice. He is. He's playing incredibly well. And I mean, as an opposition supporter, I can respect players playing well. I mean, Luka Doncic last game, I had to respect it. We have returned, though, from the timeout that the Nets called, needing to put an end to this Hornets momentum. And Cam Thomas with a step back 2 in mid-range. That's an incredibly tough shot over the outstretched arm of Brandon Mille. So, back to a double figure deficit for the Hornets to deal with. Rozier just lost balance, fell over, and Ben Simmons in transition, the 2-handed throwdown. And incredibly smart as well in throwing the basketball down, made sure he bounced it into the hardwood to that's another turnover for the Hornets. He bounced it into the ground so it could bounce higher, so it could actually take more time for the Hornets to gather the ball and actually inbound it, because we had all our numbers committing to the fast break. It's actually pretty smart play. Ben Simmons is 7 in the game. He has not missed. He's only taken 3 shots, but I take efficiency because he's made all of those 3 shots. Cam Thomas, drive, floater. He did have Dorian Finney-Smith open, top of the key, but that's always going to be tough to find given your back's turned to him. And as a Hornets player, you're happy to give that one up. Rozier tries to shake off Finney-Smith. Bridges nearly got the steal. Rozier got it back, and that's just really unlucky because that was a strong defensive play by the Nets, I do feel. Smith is back in the game. Oh my God, pull up 3, and Smith nearly got the bounce, but was unsuccessful. So what could have been a 14-point lead with the Bridges steal could now actually become an 8 or 7-point deficit. Rozier 1-on-1, shoots over Simmons. Oh, that is tough. What the fuck can you do about that? 62-55. 1 minute to go. Second quarter. Simmons, corner 3. Oh my God. How do you miss it that badly? But Dennis Smith somehow... How did he rake that in? And it's gone from the Hornets being able to cut it to a 2-possession game to being able to potentially get it back out to a double-digit margin. Such a big swing. Dennis Smith was able to snatch it out of Washington's hands after the rebound. And then Brandon Mille fouls Cam Thomas on the corner 3-point attempt. So 3 shots for Cam. And these are going to be his 4th, 5th, 6th free throw attempts of the game and of the quarter. So 48 or so seconds to play. I'm not going to bother aligning my scoreboard to the one I'm seeing on League Pass. Second free throw is good. So 64-55. Maladone checks back in. Miller's played basically the entire quarter and had a great impact. Is he? No. I think he's still on the floor. Nope, he's gone to the bench. So Brandon Mille, great first half by him. Cam Thomas makes all three, and it's up to a 10-point lead for the Nets. 45 seconds to play in the second quarter. Rozier. They're looking for Hayward. It was Dennis Smith on him in the post. Faces up. Shoots the two. It's off the rebound, Cam Thomas. Now Ben Simmons. Picked up by Washington. Back to Cam. Switch. And now he's going to cook. One-on-one with Washington. Ben cuts to the basket. Kicks it back out to Smith. Goes downhill. Oh, well done. What? Yes. Thank you. I was a bit confused because I didn't hear a whistle, but that's probably because you've got your volume down, mate. So it's going to be 2 shots for Dennis Smith. He was able to get Hayward in the air, and it's going to be 2 shots for him at the line. Oh my God. Okay, wait, no, he made that. What was the camera angle doing there? So what could have been a really good end to the second quarter, the first half by the Hornets, that's a miss by Dennis Smith, has ended up nearly being a double-digit deficit they're going to have to make up going into the second half. They got 4 to shoot here. Rozier the drive. Feed to the corner for Maladone, the 3 as the shot clock expires. Could not repeat the efforts of Mikal Bridges to end the first, and that is going to be the half. 66-55 at halftime. I'm late to the game. What's up? Nothing much. Pretty good first half by the Nets. 66 points. The second quarter, things opened up for the Hornets, but I will take this half nonetheless. You want to be, you want to be in pole position going into the second half. A lead is much better than a deficit, and I'd rather be 11 points up than 11 points down. Mikal got a lock in. Yeah, in that quarter, he really struggled because he couldn't look after the basketball. He didn't take a shot. He had more turnovers than I'm pretty sure the rest of the team combined. So it's going to, require a little bit of resolve from Mikal, but I don't want to see him being the first option in the second half. Cam Thomas is that guy. That being said, I want to see the ball movement that we saw in the first quarter because the ball was zinging around. In that quarter, we only scored 24 points. Obviously, a far cry from the 42 we scored in the first. That being said, that's always going to be difficult to replicate. So let's have a look at the box score, ladies and gentlemen. You can see what we're dealing with at the moment. This is the Hornets. They've got some good output from Terry Rozier, Mark Williams, and Brandon Mille, who are all scoring above 50% from the field. The problem is they've got, a number of players anchoring them down. For example, Maladone, Lamelo Ball, who's had an absolute rotter of the first half, 2 points, 4 dimes. He's a team worst -14. And Gordon Hayward is he's shooting 1 of 6 as well. And PJ Washington is also a -13. So the bench unit is doing a significantly better job, I would say, than the starting unit. I mean, Lamelo and Gordon Hayward have not been good at all. So would it be a far cry to say that they need to play in the closing? Or they need to not play in the closing? That'd be incredibly bold if it's a close game to not have Lamelo Ball out on the floor. But I would argue that there is a case to be made for that because he's been hideous. Brandon Miller's been great, as we've said. Their shooting isn't great. Their rebounding improved. Their assist numbers positive. Their turnovers did beef up at the back end of the first half. So that's probably something they want to ensure that they retain a stranglehold on that, because if that gets away from them, then obviously down 11, it's always going to be a tough hill to climb as it is. But the more you turn the ball over and, rid yourself of extra possessions, you're stuffed. Let's have a look at the Nets, who, dropped off. Actually, no, we didn't. We really didn't. Our 3-point shooting is... Whoa, what the hell happened there? Our 3-point shooting and our field goal shooting didn't really drop off. I mean, it did a bit, but we barely took shots in the second quarter. We did get a lot more free throws, which was a problem in the first quarter. Didn't really get to the line. We're shooting them at a rate which isn't too admirable, though. 10 of 16, 62.5%. I mean, I want to see improvement in that area. We probably could have had 70 points at the half if we just were a little bit more adequate at the line. That being said, the rebounding's pretty good. We're actually holding opponents to the lowest amount of rebounds to open this season. And given the Hornets only have, 19? That's pretty good. That being said, we've played some pretty shitty rebounding teams. So, yeah. But the keys to the game for me, let me just update the spotlight, because I didn't update the spotlight. Can't be slacking. Can't be slacking. We've got to stay alert at all times. 14 points for Cam. He is the high man for the Nets. Great contributions all around. I mean, everyone who has played has scored. We're seeing a little bit more of an even distribution than we were seeing last game, because only 2 players off the bench logged 10 minutes. In this one, we've seen 3 already log 10 minutes, and Day'Ron Sharpe probably would have also logged 10 minutes if he didn't have 3 personals already. So, he provided some good minutes as well. 7 points, 5 boards, and a block. Yeah. But keys to the second half, I think feed Cam Thomas is one of them. I mean, he's just picking up where he left off. 4 of 8 shooting, and getting to the free throw line a bunch. So he's going to be the key to our win today if we get it. Ben Simmons has also been excellent. Triple-double watch. Yet again, last game he was 10, 10, and 8. This game thus far, he's 7, 5, and 4. So I think he's well on track to get to those sort of all-star numbers that he was getting in year 1, year 2. So I think he could be on track for like a 16-point triple-double if, he really stuffs the stat sheet and he actually gets the minutes he deserves. He needs to play upwards of 30 in this game. Same with Cam Thomas. I don't want to see Royce, or maybe I do want to see Royce in the closing. I wouldn't mind seeing Lonnie Walker down the stretch. Obviously, it depends on the type of game we're witnessing. If it's closer, then maybe that'll call for a different lineup. But I do feel Lonnie is a good player to close with. Royce O'Neal's been pretty good, having said that. Even though I hate the guy's guts when he doesn't do his job. He's doing his job today, which is always a positive sign. But an interesting stat we found out in the pregame, or at least I found out before the game and put it in the pregame, Royce O'Neal has the most minutes of any net this season thus far. He's at 10.5 on average. Cam Thomas is averaging about 6. So that can't be a number we see going into this final quarter. We need to stagger the minutes so Cam Thomas is on the floor for borderline the entire last quarter. 9 or 10 minutes. Obviously, there's time, you want him to have a breather. But I would love to see something along the lines of, how many minutes in a half? 24. So I would like to see Cam probably start, and then at maybe the 4-minute mark, take him out, and then bring him back in at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter and then play him out. So play him 18 of the 24 minutes. That would get him to 34 minutes total. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the minute allocation he should be getting on a regular game basis. Whether that is when the starters return, whether that is when he's coming off the bench, or in a role like this, where he is the starting guard. It's going to be very interesting to see when these players come back, Cam Johnson and Nic Claxton, who goes to the bench. Finney Smith will go to the bench, but he has provided some really good minutes. In this game, I'm loving his physicality. 7 points, 5 boards, 2 blocks in there. And even last game, he was pretty positive. Even the game before. The wings have been pretty strong all round this season. Shooting the ball and being that physical presence that we need in a team that prides themselves on defense. I'm interested to see, this is my question to you, does this starting five change your viewpoint on what the starting five should be long term? Because when Clax and Cam Johnson come back, does Cam Thomas get relegated to the sixth man role? Or has his play warranted a starting five spot? Because, it also raises the question, is Ben Simmons and Claxton a good fit? In the pregame, I also found a stat which it shows that we're like a negative 22 net rating with Clax and Ben when there's no KD and Kyrie, which is a staggering number. So, surely you can't relegate Ben or Clax to the bench, but we could be a better team for it, even though those plays don't warrant a position on the bench. Let us know. That is my big question to you. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We're back here for Nets versus Heat. Nets versus Heat in a couple of days' time. No Claxton or Johnson for that game as well, so I would expect this starting five to continue on into the next game as well. We'll also look around the grounds. Tyrese Maxey, the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and he's in my fantasy team, so I'm happy with that. I love this lineup. Offense is more fluid without Clax. It's a good shout. But where would you... You can't have Clax coming off the bench. Surely not. For the defensive versatility he provides as the anchor, the man in the middle. And the switchability. You can have such excellent defensive lineups. Once this team is cooking defensively, my God, it's going to be a tough team to score on. Voice crack. Yeah. What other thoughts do you all have? Cam Thomas should be starting. He's our best pure scorer. Yes, he is 100% our best pure scorer. Who would you have in then? Or who would you take out? Who would you put in the second unit? I just want to see, what is your starting five when we are fully fit? Put that in the chat right now. And we'll obviously discuss. I'm interested to see it. Make sure to chuck it in. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Because this sort of stuff, I want to see a fair bit of engagement. Let's have a look. What is your starting five for the Nets when the team is fully fit? Okay, let's have a look. Ben, Cam, Mikal, CJ, Clax. So, first couple of responses, I'm seeing no Spencer. So Spencer off the bench as a sixth man. That's a good shout. I would say that's a decent shout. I think, the only concern about those lineups is there enough shooting to offset the lack of spacing with Ben and Clax? But, if you bring Cam Thomas into the starting five, well, there's your shooting. So it is valid. It is valid. It's a valid change. Any others? Let's have a look. I don't think they'll start Ben and Clax. I think it'll be Cam, Ben, Mikal, CJ, and DFS. Ultimately think Clax is traded at the deadline. Bold call. Really bold call. It'd be interesting to see if you test the market. Who would be buyers? Because Clax isn't expiring. He'd be a restricted... Is he a restricted free agent? Or No, he's not unrestricted. Surely not. So then, whoever gets him is probably a team that needs to be positioned to extend him. Because if you're willing to trade for him, then you probably want him as a part of your long-term future. So who's a team that, like, what would we want and who would we, what would we want from an opposition team in terms of like the kind of player? And then we need to think of which team could actually facilitate that trade. He is restricted, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I also think they trade Clax. I hear he's looking for a big bag. It is... I love that. I love that player, man. Love that player. I can't even sugarcoat it, to be quite honest. We do need Clax, in my opinion. He is also important and underappreciated. We need to re-sign him. However, we do need to see him make a jump in his offensive side, hopefully improving the ability to stretch. I think that is the big... That is going to be the big part of our future plans with Clax, I think, because if he can make strides in his offense, then it's gonna justify paying him the bag. So I think if he can make strides in the offensive side of things, it's gonna help us. It's gonna warrant that contract we'll need to pay for him. So I think the stars will align if he can show his offensive abilities. I think Dallas is thirsting for the chance to get Clax. I'm just thinking, what do they give up? I don't think we're going to take a package of... Like, we don't need more guards. We've got enough depth already. And I'd argue we could get 2 or 3 players for Clax. It's a tough one. We don't need more depth. So, we've resumed the second half, by the way. I probably should have forewarned you. Ben here on the drive, the kick out to Finney Smith. The 3 is open, and that rims out. He's going to get those looks because, you know, 66-55. Mark Williams is... Oh, my God. Well done. Sorry. Bridges, 1-on-1. Oh, my fucking God. How have we blown that? How have we blown this? Oh, my God. We made an absolute meal of that. To roll it back, Bridges got the steal. Ben and Mikal v. Rozier. You wouldn't believe what happened. We missed about 3 shots, but we're able to get our own rebound a number of times and score the 2 points. That pass was absolutely not on. The Nets in transition again. Walker's in the game to start, and the dump pass to Dorian Finney-Smith in transition. Walker's starting the second half, so maybe Dinwiddie, as was suspected earlier by the chat, maybe he is out injured. 22 fast break points for the Nets in this game to 4. That was a big part of the first half last game as well. That's a good spin by Washington. How has that happened? We had the rebound, then we didn't, and the Hornets were the beneficiaries. Walker into the paint. The runner, that hits back iron. The rebound by the Hornets. Lamelo starting the second half here after only logging 12 first half minutes. Ball off the window. That's a good angle, and he scores for 2. So an 11-point game. Simmons fakes the handoff. Now Bridges, the switch. Thomas, Walker. 1-on-1 with Ball. Drive down the middle. Layup. And we have a foul on Lamelo. It's going to be 2 shots. 6 to shoot. Not that that's really going to matter anyway. I think Houston might be a fit. Not sure who they'd offer in trade. I think maybe the Warriors too, because he fits their team with all the spacing. But the key is who we get back. Exactly right. Oh my God, another missed free throw, man. Come on, dude. Claxton's skill set suits KD, Kyrie, and James. That's 1 of 2 for Lonnie Walker, by the way. I'd pick Clax to be traded and Ben to stay because he suits the team more. I can back that. It's just I think I have... What the hell happened there? 3-second call on Doe. It's going to be 2 shots for Charlotte, or 1 shot for Charlotte and Ball. I think it's just the emotional attachment to Clax, honestly. Because he's such like an admirable player. As a fan, he's the kind of player that really gets you G'd up because of the energy he brings, like his intensity, his passion for the game, and because he does more the intangible stuff. Like, I can get really hyped up and properly appreciate a good defensive possession when you shouldn't be winning the defensive possession, if that makes sense. Oh my God, that's an incredible alley-oop execution by Mark Williams, towering over Dorian Finney-Smith, who read the alley-oop pass. It's a 9-point game. Cam Thomas for 3. That looked awfully off the minute it left his hands. That's a great pass to Williams and the dunk. So that's another smart pass by the Hornets, really exploiting that height they've got under the basket. Open man. Thomas, that's another foul on Lamelo. And this one's going to be on the floor, but that's his second foul of the quarter there, Lamelo. That's a great pass to Williams, by the way. Didn't allow Cam Thomas, who was in front and taking that front position, to actually intercept the pass before it got to Williams. Lamelo's on the bench. 4 fouls already in this game, so he's got to go. Bridges, good defense by the Hornets. Bridges 1-on-1, shoots the 3. That rims out. Thomas took a shot, and the Hornets 5-on-4 momentarily. Mille, that 3 is off. Oh, great pass. Dorian Finney-Smith with the hammer. Woohoo! Well done by the Nets there. That was Lonnie Walker on that occasion, reading the play, able to get it over the back to Finney-Smith, who was cherry-picking just a little bit. Hayward, defended by Thomas. Got rid of him. And that is a smart offensive play using the experience. 7-point game. If you are enjoying the stream, you know what to do. There's also a donation link or button as well if you feel extremely generous. Dorian Finney-Smith is open for 3 and he knocks it down. Sniper. Ben Simmons with the dime. Plenty of 3s on offer for him tonight with Mark Williams trying to play a bit of defense in the paint. That's a great scoop by Rozier. So the Nets need to probably just clamp up a little bit defensively. Here's Finney-Smith. Kick out to Bridges. Lonnie Walker through the middle. Finney-Smith is open again. He got it again. This could be a big Dorian Finney-Smith game here. That's another 3-pointer. He has made 6 of his 9 shots. He's got 17 in the game. I believe he's actually the high man for the Nets. Mille down the middle. How the fuck was that not a travel or an offensive foul? Ben Simmons, feet planted, got bulldozed on that drive by Brandon Mille. And JV also saw a travel in there, which I didn't. So I don't have quite an observant eye. There's a foul on, I believe, Gordon Hayward. We've got a timeout, ladies and gents. 79-70, the score. So let's go to the box score, ladies and gents, and let's see what's going on. Let me get the Cam Thomas update. There's not really anything to update because he hasn't done anything in the second half. Third quarter stats. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Dorian Finney-Smith has really taken the lead here. He has had an all-round performance. 1 steal, 2 blocks to go with 17 points, 4 made 3s, 1 assist, 1 steal. I already said that. Mikal Bridges has not scored, I believe, since the first quarter where he was the leading man for the Nets at that given time. Spencer Dinwiddie did not start the second half. I'm not sure if that's because he's out of the game. Ben Simmons with 9.6 boards and 5 dimes. He has not missed. And Cam Thomas has got 14. He hasn't moved. Off the bench, 3 players with 7 or more points, which I'm liking. Turnovers, none of those in the second half, which is always a plus. However, the Hornets have outscored us in this quarter because their shooting has started to go up. They've had a few more turnovers, but Terry Rozier doing pretty nice things, and they're feeding Mark Williams in the post, and he's got 18 points. That's a really smart play by the Hornets. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work that one out. It's not rocket science to feed a center when you've got no... Well, his opponent is 6'7". So, I mean, it'd be stupid to not capitalize on that a little bit more. But fair to say, it doesn't look like this second half is going to be as easy as I thought it would be. No depth. I'd want picks. Picks for Clax. It'd have to be some good picks because I think Clax is not a player which you would, well, demand unders for. But I feel like a team would try to shithouse the trade so they could get the better end of the deal. Alrighty. 79.70. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to let us know. And if this is your first stream of the year, let us know how you're... let us know if you're vibing to this new layout we've got going here, because I'm a fan of it. I mean, I made it, so I should probably be a fan of it, but if you were also a fan of it, make sure to let us know. And if there's any improvements or little implementations you want me to make to improve the stream a little bit more and provide that little bit of extra insight, then also let me know. So Royce O'Neal is back in. That is a deep three. Oh my God, how is that rimmed out? Jesus. So Rozier, Hayward, back to Rozier, and now Washington. Rozier. Looking for the alley-oop. Walker read it well. Got in front. Transition opportunity. Walker, the layup. Skywalker. So, just about to exceed the halfway point of this third quarter. Washington the drive. Good defense, Ben. Forces it out of his hands. Now it is Mille on the drive. Step back two. That's a tough shot, and he makes it. Of course he does, because he's playing the Brooklyn Nets. And every time you play the Brooklyn Nets, there's always one player that gets permitted to, switch on the microwave and start scoring like crazy. Cam Thomas, the drive. The layup is good. And I feel like a little bit more aggressiveness in driving it is needed. Hayward. Early offense. And that's a three. Dude. Man, the defense is napping just a little bit. Simmons. Pass to Bridges. Down the middle. Got the angle. That was a tough shot. I thought he had put himself in a world of trouble with the way he attacked the basket. It was basically running away from the basket. Got the angle to work. Walker with the block on Mille. Got his own rebound. Rozier was wide open. We'd collapsed the defense, and of all shots for the Hornets to miss, I didn't think it would be that one. Walker picked up by Mille. Drive down the middle again. Oh, the acrobatics. I don't know why I was flexing. I wasn't even flexing. That was a half-assed flex. Lonnie Walker's in double figures now off the bench with 11. Washington to Mille. Drive. Royce stays with him, forces the turnaround, and forces the miss. Well short. Walker again. Pull up three. Hits back iron. We're going to get the long rebound, though. Ben. Oh, my God. How has he got that to go? And we have a timeout. The one-handed hook shot. Granted, you can't make a hook shot with two hands. But Ben Simmons, from about 10 feet out, hook shot, running away from the basket, scores for two after we were able to recycle that possession. Well done, Benny. So 89-75. Back to the box score we go. And who gives a shit about the Hornets? We're looking at our stats because I think they'll look a little bit better on paper. Shooting the ball well. except for the free throw line. We're nearly shooting it better from the field than we are from the line. Offensive rebounds starting to pile up a little bit. Ben Simmons into double figures. Triple-double watch, ladies and gents. Ben Simmons is well on track for that. He's got 11, 7, and 6. Cam Thomas is forcing me to change this spotlight stat line. There we go. He's got 16 now in the game. Otherwise, a very empty box score for him. Dorian Finney-Smith, as we said before the break, 17 points. Mikal hasn't taken too many, but he's been pretty efficient when he has. The turnover number, that was the key thing we said at halftime needed to be rectified. That problem needed to be rectified. We have not turned the ball over once in this quarter, and that has been key in reinforcing this lead and ensuring that that lead doesn't get trimmed any more than what it had already. The only guy in not in double figures in the starting lineup is Spencer Dinwiddie. He hasn't taken to the court in this second half, so I wonder if that's a little injury that you guys were mentioning early on. That being said, he played the first half, so I don't really know what's going on there. Amazingly, Lonnie Walker off the bench has taken the equal most shots for the Nets. And I'm not really complaining because he's scored them at a pretty good rate. Royce O'Neal has been pretty strong as well, scoring 8 points off the bench. But overall, pretty well-rounded stat line. The shooting is pretty positive. The turnovers have stopped. The rebounding remains a constant. And the assist number has been lacking a little bit. So we've relied on shot creation and get it done a little bit more so. And look, as long as we're making the shots, I'm not complaining. It's when the offense starts to stall. That's when we could be in with a few issues. Day'Ron Sharpe's actually back into the game, which is a positive as well, because, you know, Mark Williams is absolutely cooking us, so I don't know if the Hornets are going to run with him or they're going to bring in Nick Richards off the bench and give Williams a little bit of a break. Also, this is the stage of the game where I said Cam Thomas would go to the bench. So let's see if that actually happens now. With a 14-point lead, I'd be happy doing something along those lines. All right. So Dennis Smith is on. So let's have a look. Ben, Dennis Smith, there is no Cam Thomas on the floor. So JV must be tuning into the stream or something, because I think he's an inspired man. He's heard my talk. He's seen the results of the previous games with a pretty questionable staggering of minutes. And he's like, we're going to listen to this guy. He knows his stuff. Lonnie Walker. Cross. Drive on Thor. Good bit of hesitation. Dump off pass. And that is a goaltend. Richards pinged. And Day'Ron Sharpe with a little push shot to convert the 2 points. And that's a good feed by Lonnie Walker. He's shown this in the 2 games he's played and actually not gotten a DNP. His ability to drive, get by the defender, and then utilize that extra number by facilitating the dump-off pass. Good verticality by Day'Ron, forced the miss, but it's going to be 2 shots anyway. It's not going to matter. The lead has ballooned back out to 20. No, it hasn't. I can't do math. 16. Spencer Dinwiddie is, I would assume he's done, but looking at him walk off, he looked perfectly fine. That would have been the exact reason why I couldn't pick up any form of injury that he was carrying, but he hasn't played since late in the second quarter. Oh, what a backdoor cut by Lonnie Walker. Another 2 off the window. Great off-ball movement. He's only providing positives, Lonnie. He has to get minutes once we're back at full strength, which now doesn't seem like a possibility in the immediate future. Thor, and that's way too easy. Richards under the basket for 2. It's back down to 14, but I mean, I'm taking this deficit at the moment. Ben Simmons, dump off. Dayron is blocked. And it was good verticality by 2 Charlotte defenders. Mille, back out. Wisey wide open. Maladone for 3. It's off. Rebound, Dayron. Well done. Got Richards out of the way. Ben Simmons is going to pass it to Royce. Good relocation. The 3 is off. The rebound, Dayron takes a dribble. Lost the ball. Man, he's got to just get it out to the outside, man. Oh, that is fucking poor, Dayron. I understand the work. It's almost like when he gets the offensive rebound, he's too busy worrying about putting the ball in instead of just staying composed and weighing up all the options. Simmons is blocked and Richards with the interior presence yet again. Hornets the other way. The spin, kick out, Thor for 3, top of the key. It's short and the rebound by Ben. So we've just got to slow things down, I think. Ben finds an opening. There's going to be a timeout. 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. So I'm just going to stretch a little bit. Oh, there we go. Let's have a look at the chat, see what you guys are saying. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. If you are new, make sure to say hello as well. I've seen a few new people in chat, so that's always good to see. Hello, Gabriel, again from WA. Triple-double would be huge news. I mean, yeah, it would be. People would make a big deal out of it, saying, oh, Ben Simmons is back. Such a positive game for Ben. Has the potential to pay off big in future games. Confidence is king. Indeed it is. That is probably the number one thing that dictates playing ability. I have to say. I'm a genius. Yeah, I do like to say I'm a genius. That's what they call me back home. Yep. Lonnie is a nice player. He is. He's properly nice. Spencer Dinwiddie is not returning. I've just heard. This is an interesting move. Cam Thomas is back in. He took a 2-minute break, and now he's back in the game. Ben Simmons is off, so no Spencer Dinwiddie means the minute Ben has gone to the bench, Cam Thomas is now back in. Ben with 11, 8, and 7. Smith handling the rock. The push shot. Oh my God, was that an alley-oop? We can call it that because Dayron caught it and shot it in one motion off the Dennis Smith airball. Rozier. Bit of hesitation. Dennis Smith stays with. Good hassling by Dorian Finney-Smith. Miller couldn't get the shot up. Now Rozier. One-on-one with Finney-Smith. Great contest. Forces the miss, but they get the long rebound. Our numbers had collapsed. And now Thor in the corner for 3. That's also off. We chase up the board. It's a 3-on-2. Smith, rapid, and then he just passed it to no one. And look, that would have been an awfully handy basket because you get it up to 16. I mean, those 2 points were delivered on a platter. Delivered on a platter. And we've made a meal of that. Brandon Miller. Good defense by Royce. Forced the pass again. Body bump by Richards. Sharp is pinged with a foul. It's going to be 2 for Nic Richards. And Dayron, I don't think he did too much wrong there. He looked pretty stable. But it may have just been, I don't even know. Was he trying to reach a little bit on that? On that shot there? I have no idea. Richards, first free throw is good. Dayron's going to get taken to the bench again. Dayron's got 5 fouls, so can't imagine he's going to play too much, if at all, for the rest of the game. And who's going to come in for Dayron? Because no Giles minutes. Ben is not back in. So 5 on the floor as it stands. Cam Thomas, Dennis Smith, Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, and Mikal. So I don't know who our 5 is. Voice crack. Both free throws made by the Hornets. They have made every single free throw perfect. Cam Thomas stops and pops and scores for 2, and he looks at the ref as if to say, where is my foul? Hornets. Thor. Who's this guy? Maladone. Forced into a pass again. Mille. We blitz. This is great defense by the Nets. 5 to shoot. The layup is off. Never got the angle. And Dorian Finney-Smith with the board. 2-for-1 opportunity here for the Nets. Royce. Cam Thomas is going to hold for 1. And we've seen this. Looks like we're making a habit of this. We're not willing to go for the 2-for-1. We want the best shot available. Cam letting the clock wind down. 6 to shoot. Oh, what a move. Oh, God, that was a bad miss. And we've got a foul. Dennis Smith would have landed on his tailbone there because he's a bit sore on the back there. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Ouch. Ouch. He really landed hard there. He got tunneled a little bit. That was a great move by Cam Thomas. He absolutely discarded Theo Maladone. So, in essence, we're going to get the 2-for-1 anyway. Well, not really the 2-for-1. We're going to get the 1-for-1, but the Hornets will not have a shot because the clock is reset. How has Bridges not been fouled there? He pulls up for 2, falling away and hits the deck, scoring for 2. They got 3 to shoot. That was a travel and a half, man. And Mikal's going to get the block anyway. But fam, he's been... Bro, he walked a marathon. Mate. 3/4 time, though. You're my radio guy right now. I live in North Carolina, and I don't have the Hornets feed, and League Pass is blacked out. You're the man. Cheers, boss. Cheers, boss, for tuning in. Obviously, as I say all the time, the stream is nothing without people. You know, if people aren't in the chat, then it sort of makes what I'm doing a bit null and void, but it's good to have people in the chat. We've had a pretty good attendance. I say it like it's school. Pretty good crowd in for the watch along in this game, which is awesome. Given at the back end it sort of trailed off, but I'm happy with the amount of people we've got in. I want to get it back to about 50 to 60 concurrent at one time. That was our peak last year, and then it ballooned to like 160 in one game. It was crazy. I love Cam. Cam's just, he's a baller. He's a baller. Let's have a look at the box score. Cam Thomas now, we've been doing the box score watch for. As you can see, in our player spotlight, Cam Thomas has 18 points and 1 rebound and has decided to do nothing else. But that don't matter because other players have well and truly picked up the slack. We've got 6 players in double figures. Spencer Dinwiddie is out of the game. That's why he's stranded on 13 minutes and 5 points. But that's okay because we've got Lonnie and Dennis Smith to fill the void off the bench. Lonnie Walker's done a great job. He's scored 13 points. The 3-pointers have dried up. And so have the free throws. We barely got to the line, but we kept that field goal percentage well and truly in a healthy position. And only had the 1 turnover as well. That was a huge part of why this lead is actually higher. Is actually higher than what it was at the half. 16-point lead. I'm sitting pretty comfortably. We had 6 turnovers in the second quarter, but outside of that, only 3 turnovers. Mikal Bridges had like 3 or 4 turnovers in the second, but he didn't have a turnover in that quarter. Awesome to see. Cam Thomas is the high man, but Dorian Finney-Smith has been permitted open looks because Mark Williams has been playing a little bit of drop and sagging off, and we've benefited. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Dayron's got 5 fouls, but he's also scored 11. First shot by the Hornets is off, and the other way, Ben Simmons got rid. Great kick out of Royce, and the 3 is off. I have to say, Ben Simmons taking it all the way. He might as well just put a shot up. Because he kept sending the defender more basket bound, if that makes sense. Oh my God, Lamelo airballed a 3, and then Washington scores plus the foul. That's gotta hurt. Like, Ben Simmons was well and truly sending his defender under the basket and cornering him. That should have been a regulation layup attempt for Ben Simmons, because he had the momentum. The Charlotte player was tracking back. Oh well, that is something. He misses the free throw pretty badly, and now Ben will give it to Cam Thomas, and Cam will find himself in a switch. Thor guarding him, step back 3. It's good. Cameron motherfucking Thomas. 3 points. Cam Thomas is now 21. There's a foul, and Lamelo Ball was the guy who got hit. Not with the foul, he just got hit. Cam Thomas is the guy who picks up the foul. So a 17-point lead. It was as low as about 7 after the Hornets clawed their way back from as large as a 19-point deficit, I do feel. The ball's inbounded by the Hornets. Ball, Maladone. Oh my God, he nearly found himself in no man's land. That's another foul for the Nets. And Royce wants a challenge. Royce wants a challenge. Are we going to get it? Yep. We're going to get the challenge. And this is the first time this season we are seeing a challenge by the Nets. I don't think we've used the challenge this year. And as you would know, or in case you don't know, if you are successful with the challenge, what does that mean? Well, that means that you retain the challenge, and I believe you retain the timeout. So if you lose, obviously you lose both. But if you win, you regain both for a second opportunity later in the game, should that need to be used. So this could be a win for the Nets here. In terms of the challenge, not the game. Obviously, there's a long way to go. That was a really weird possession by the Hornets because Maladone went up. It looked like he was going to shoot, and at the last second, he pulled out and gave it off to Washington. So a bit of a questionable decision. Let's have a look at the chat. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to sub. And we have a donation link as well. So if you feel like this is worthy of a donation, then you are more than welcome to drop $1, $2, whatever. I'm planning to, with the funds, get an upgraded microphone. That is the goal. It's like the microphone I'm looking at is the one that all like podcasts use. So that volume, or sorry, not that volume, that quality is going to be crisp as. It may be a little bit more distorted if I was like back there, like getting up and getting G'd up over a win or something. But I think like quality wise, that's what I'm aiming for. I don't want to make too many adjustments and upgrade too much. Because I think the homegrown element is the best part of it. It makes it seem more fan-made if it's less professional. That being said, I want to make it as good of a quality as I can without stepping into a more professional realm. So if I can make the audio quality a little bit better, that's the aim. So yeah. Let's have a look. Let's see if this challenge was successful. Yep, Royce is going to be successful. He absolutely ensured Jacques Vaughn that this was going to be a timeout he would not regret making. And we are successful. So we hold the challenge and we retain the timeout. And the Hornets will have the ball, but they won't have those 2 shots they were going to get from that foul being called. So, yeah. Joe, welcome to the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. The fuck? What's going on here? a clock issue. Seriously, you had like 5 minutes to work that out. We just had a damn review. Ball gets inbounded. Oh, that's too easy. Dorian. No, that wasn't Dorian Finney-Smith. That was Royce. Excellent defensive play. The help defense. He swatted that shit. And then the Hornets ended up with the ball whilst in contact with the sideline. It's going to be Nets ball. That's a great defensive play by Royce. I mean, we allowed the pass into the paint way too easily. Here he is, Royce, putting the head down. He misses the layup. It was far too easy allowing that pass before into the paint, but Royce reading the play, helping out. Brandon Mille on the catch. The three is off. The rebound, Ben Simmons. He's going to push the pace. Bounce pass is not on offer. That's a turnover. Lamelo in transition. Oh, that's a great move. And he is fouled by Mikal. So 2 shots for Lamelo, who has not got it going at all. One bit whatsoever today. Get a mic that makes you sound like Bruce McAvaney. Bro, Bruce just has a... He's got a... Like, oh... He's got a voice about him. There's only one Bruce McAvaney. I can't replicate it. I want Ben to get this triple-double. Hornets made the first free throw there. Just so Stephen A. Smith has to talk about it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than when you prove people wrong. That feeling is so... Oh, it's just amazing. There's no other way to describe it, really. Thomas, bounce pass to Ben. That's a great find. He nearly traveled, and the crowd thought that he did. Cam Thomas. Oh, that's a good find. Finney-Smith was open. It's off. So we're inside the final 10 minutes. Oh my God. Lamelo, what is that? Why would you even bother shooting that? Brandon Mille chases up the offensive rebound to give him another crack. Maladone faked the three. Now to Washington in the post on the baseline. He's doubled. Mille. Pass to the corner and Thor with the three. Oh, I beg we don't bring him back into this game. We've started the last quarter with the 5 on the floor, except Royce O'Neal is in. No Lonnie Walker since he started the last. Lamelo's going to get called on a foul because he was tangled up with Mikal Bridges. That is his 5th foul, and we have still a long way to go. So one more foul for Lamelo, and he is well and truly done. Which, I mean, if this game has proved anything, it's probably that the Hornets are better off without him. Bridges, doubled, pass to Finney-Smith, drive down the middle, layup, got it! Whoo! Took the contact, scored off the glass. 19 for Finney-Smith. Maladone down the middle. That's way too easy, Mikal. Way, way, way too easy. Poor closeout. I mean, I expect better. Ben Simmons, his play was disrupted by Thor. It's going to be Nets ball from the side out. All right. So, who's coming back into the game? Lamelo's gone to the bench, so they're playing a little bit of a more conservative approach with him. That could work out for better or for worse, because the game could be done by the time he's... Well, they've planned to check him back in. Bridges on the drive, the spin. Good ball. Fake. Oh my God, that was... Finney-Smith had the open look in the corner. It was a good find by Mikal. Good take by Mille. It's down to a 9-point deficit. And the Hornets are going on a run here. It's 94. All right. 9-2 run for the Hornets. They're back in this. They've nearly cut the deficit in half. We need some offense. Cam Thomas, we're going to... Oh. We got bailed out there, I will say. Cam Thomas with the drive down the middle. It's going to be 2 shots. Washington picks it up. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, slight nudge. Cam Thomas was deterred by that shot. It went to the right, and that's because obviously Washington sent him further right. Further right. Free throw 1 is good by Cam Thomas. Giles, Smith, and Watford talking smack from the bench. I'm interested to see if Cam Thomas gets any more time on the bench, or we just play him down the stretch. I sense that we want to shut this game down, and Cam Thomas is going to be the way in which we get that done. Rozier. Lonnie Walker is back in the game. Royce remains in. Oh, that's a rogue pass. They save it. Good cut by Maladone. And what is our defense doing? What on earth is Royce doing there? That's an incredibly rash decision by Royce to foul there. I mean, we had to be a little bit more alert there. What is he doing? Washington's falling out of bounds. You got to immediately anticipate where the pass is headed. Instead, we end up giving away 2 points, not 2 pounds, and the foul as well, on a bit of a disjointed possession. So, a 9-point game with 7.5 to play. It was 16 at 3/4 time, so the Hornets gone on a run. Cam Thomas in a one-on-one with Thor. Oh my God, what a move. That's got to be a foul. He somehow got it up and in off the window. I have no idea how he's done that. He actually got that shot off as he was falling down. Rozier weaves through. It's off his leg. As he went up, knocked off the leg. Courtesy of the Nets defense, it will be Nets ball. And it's those defensive stops which are going to give us the cushion we need to get the game well and truly beyond reach of the Hornets. So, 108.97, 7 or so minutes to play. 5 on the floor for the Nets is the starting 5, except Royce is on the floor in place of Dorian Finney-Smith. And Mikal Bridges scores for 2. Didn't need help from the referees who would have called goaltending anyway. Was able to score. And it's 110.97. I mean, our offense in the first 3 games has not been anywhere near an issue. The defense is the problem. Let's have a look at the box score. Hang on, let's have a look. That would be special. That's nice. I like that. All right. Send Lamelo Ball back to Illawarra. Honestly, belongs there with this performance today. Game of runs, for sure. Cam Thomas bailing us out like always. I mean, look. Any excuse to watch Cam Thomas do special things on offense, I'm happy to see it. Corey, welcome to the stream. I believe you're new. I haven't seen you in the chat before, so good to see. Anthony as well. Cam Thomas over 30. I think he will get there as well. And we'll go to the box score because we've got him on player watch. He's got 25 points now. Still yet to do anything else outside of the points and the rebounds, dude. Crazy. But, I mean, I probably won't even say anything. I think I'm just going to take a sip of water and you can make what you will of what you're witnessing here with this box score. Ben Simmons 11, 8 and 7. Outside of Cam, Mikal's got 15. Finney-Smith got 19. He was shooting it far more efficiently before. He sort of regressed down to the mean a little bit. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith has had a great couple of games. He had a bad slump at the back end of the season last year. He couldn't shoot a 3 for his life. And also Lonnie Walker getting some run because Spencer Dinwiddie's out injured. What I find very interesting, why is Royce O'Neal playing down the stretch? Get him off and bring on Finney-Smith. Bro, Cam Thomas, I swear to God, this guy could have another 30-piece. He has had, 2 games with 30 already, and he's on track to have another game with 30 again. I do think in order for us to win this game, Cam Thomas is going to need to score 30. I think we'll be safe if we can score at least 120. That being said, last game we scored 120 and we know what happened. Cam is showing he's the number 1 shooter on the team. Cam is MIP. Honestly, I would be very tempted to put money on Cam Thomas winning Most Improved and 6th Man. Rozier weaves through far too easily. That's another 2 points for the Hornets. Cam Thomas to Bridges. 1-on-1. He shoots the step back 3. That's a foul. Where is it? Thank you. Washington will pick up the foul. And that's the second time tonight there's been a foul on the 3. Before it was Cam Thomas, the recipient of 3 shots. And now it is Mikal. There's a challenge here for the Hornets. They say that it was not a rash closeout. They say it was actually a rash kickout. Let's have a look. Well, it's not a rash. Like, there's barely any contact, but there's absolutely no case to be made for it being a kick out. No way. Skyline, mate, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you in chat again. JaVale McGee dunked on LeBron. That game was an entertaining game yesterday. I didn't really get see too much of it. I did watch the highlights, though. JV clearly loves Royce. I'm not sure why. As we said in the pregame, the guy has the most fourth quarter minutes of this season of any net. That's cooked. He's played 10.5 minutes on average in the first 2 games in the fourth quarter, and he has not come off yet in this last quarter. There is no way they call that a kick out. If that's a kick out, then you can chalk up fouls on nearly every 3-point shot in the NBA in human history. There's no way there's clearly an anti-Nets agenda if this is deemed an offensive foul. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to wait. I'm hoping it's taking a while because they were trying to work out if it was a flagrant or not, but has there ever been a time where they've challenged for an offensive foul and it's actually been upgraded to a flagrant? That'd be hilarious. Yes. All right. So 6:45 to play in the fourth. It's 110.99. It's going to be 3 shots for Mikal after he was fouled on a 3. It's going to be Hornets ball following that. I mean, it didn't take a genius to work that out. So the Hornets have lost a timeout. They've lost their challenge. They're basically cooked. No, they're not. But I mean, this is the most important time for the Nets because the first 2 games we've had leads and they have diminished rapidly because our offense has been stunted. And as a result, our defensive capabilities, while they've suffered, they've been severely hindered. So It's going to be interesting to see if we can actually show a bit of resolve on that side of things. Mikal makes 2. He's got 1 left remaining to go. Here we go. And it's good. So 113.99, 6 or so minutes to play. Okay, Mille, Rozier, picked up by Simmons. They're looking for the pass in the post to Washington, who's picked up by Royce. Mille gets by Thomas. Thomas, good recovery. And that's got to be off the Hornets. It is. Well done by the Nets, crashing the defensive glass and ensuring the Hornets didn't have another crack. So Ben will trigger it in. Bridges. Going to give it to Cam. And we're going to slow the tempo right down because time is our friend. Cam Thomas. Oh my God. Good change of pace by Cam Thomas. 2 shots plus 1. It was so well done because he sort of jogged into the paint, waited for the contact, and then turned on the burners. Almost caught his defenders off guard. Well, he did, because he beat the defenders to the spot and scored for 2 with a scoop. He's going to get a free throw, and we are now well and truly in pole position with this. Well, those 3 free throws by Mikal. Obviously, the challenge lost by the Hornets and the timeout, and then Cam Thomas converting the 3-point play. So it's a 17-point lead for the Nets. Lamelo Ball will give it to Rozier, and he will look for Hayward. Gets it to him. Gets it back now. Rozier is doubled. Where is Royce going? He is in no man's land, mate. Get him off. What has Finney-Smith done to not get minutes in the closing? I don't fucking understand this. I hope he's going to bring him in at the 4 or 5 minute mark. Thomas, kick out. Bridges, stops. Oh my God. We got 4 to shoot. Cam Thomas is going to have to put one up. He does. It hits back iron. Well done by Ben, who saves it. And it was in dispute for a moment there. The Hornets end up with it in transition. Washington weaves through, and the 2 points for the Hornets. It's back down to 12. So 5 or so minutes to play in this one. And it's going to be Lonnie Walker giving it to Cam Thomas, or so it seems. Walker. 1-on-1 with Lamelo. I like this. Lonnie's going to get it back. Step back 3. Oh my God, that was a bad miss. And the Hornets get the rebound. So inside 5 minutes, a terrible offensive set there. And now Washington for 3. That would have been big. Gets it back into single digits with 5 or so minutes to play. Plenty of time in that case for the Hornets to get the lead back. Bridges. Switch. Got Lamelo on him. Got to attack him. He's on 5 fouls. And the layup is good. That's just smart. All you need to do is just find yourself in an isolation with Lamelo. He's on 5 fouls. He can't really afford to foul. Good layup by Lamelo. Quick response, which is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Hornets. Being down 12. We've got 4 minutes to play in this one. Cam Thomas in an ISO with Cam. Oh, Cam Thomas can't be in an ISO with himself. How is that not a foul, man? Mikal is going to drive it. And the layup is good off the window. Simmons was there for the follow. But those resources weren't needed. Hayward, the other way. Try to discard Thomas. He scores for 2 with the flip +1. So even though the Hornets are exceeding a crap ton of buckets, they are scoring pretty quickly themselves. So, I mean, we've just got to keep the scoreboard ticking and we'll be okay, but I'm not really that excited about conceding this many points to the Charlotte Hornets. They probably could hit 120 if they wanted to, but we've just got to ensure that we just suck the life out of this game. Cam Thomas Gonna drive on Washington. He got by him. And then the floater on the baseline for 2. He's got 30. There we go. That's his 3rd straight game to start the season with 30. Good roll by Washington. And the 2 is also good. So now Rozier deciding to blitz Cam Thomas before half court. Oh my God. Oh my God, he nearly got that in. That would have been an insane make if he did. He was absolutely harassed every step of the way to the basket. So, in 3 games, 30 points. Now, since 2018-19 season, since that year, Steph Curry, Levine, Harden, when playing for Houston, Doncic, and Donovan Mitchell are the only players to have done that to start the year. 3 games, 30 points. Dorian Finney-Smith is back in, and of course we bench Ben Simmons. What the fuck is that? What's the point of that? How is Royce... Bro, they're going to play Royce all 12 minutes of the last. That is... How does he justify this shit? Cam Thomas misses the second, but the lead is sitting at 12. We have 3 minutes to play. Lamelo wanted the step back 3, gave it off instead. Mille, Rozier, catch and shoot 3. It's offline. The rebound by Cam Thomas. And we have another foul. Lamelo Ball is out of the game. Dismissed for 6 fouls. Not quite cricket, but, you know. I mean, it sounded cool at first glance. Cam Thomas on that rebound, actually, with that foul, will be heading to the free throw line for 2 more. So... Cam Thomas just racking up the points now. He's got 33 or 32 off memory. I don't have great memory recall. Well, I sort of do. I think I'd be discrediting myself a little bit there. 2:49 to play, 125, 111. The offense has been excellent. Oh, that is too easy. Rozier with the easy layup. Dorian Finney-Smith was trying to get over from the weak side, but too late there. So another quick execution of a 2 points for the Hornets. Bridges, drive on Hayward. Oh my God, on the baseline. Behind the backboard, Rozier again, another bloody layup. Dude. Bro, Mikal, that was an insane shot. Falling to the floor behind the backboard. Cam Thomas is doubled. Finney-Smith now. Royce is trying to help out. Instead gives it to Bridges, who's doubled. Cam Thomas. Now Walker's wide open for 3. There it is! Put the Q in the rack. It's game over. 130, 115. I mean, fair to say, defense has decided to not rock up today. Washington blows an easy 2 off the glass, and Mikal will slow things right down. And first win of the season, the final team in the Eastern Conference to get a win. We started today 15th in the Eastern Conference. Definitely not deserving that title. An offensive foul for Mikal Bridges. He did score in the mid-range, but those 2 points are going to be rubbed out. It's going to be Hornets ball with 1:25 to play. But it's good for us to get on the winners list. We've got the Heat next. Lonnie nearly got the steal. Charlotte regained possession. 2 points for Washington. So this is going to be a long 1 minute 17, 77 seconds. Especially if there's a crap ton of fouling. Well done by the Nets to get it across half court. And now from here, are they going to get fouled? Walker the spin. We've got a foul. Walker's going to go to the free throw line. Yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying in chat. Those who have joined us, hello, dear friends. Cam is our best player, 100% rock him. If Giles can't get any minutes when Claxton is out, well, then will when then sorry. Well, then when sorry, Lonnie makes both. You know, I'll just look at the chat after the game's done. Make sure to stick around for the post game. We'll be doing a little chat, and then probably 5 minutes after the game is done, we'll be done, and you can get on with your life. Hayward with the poster for 2, 132, 119, and Bridges is trapped. Cam Thomas gets by half court, and he lost the ball, and then he fouled. So this is exactly what I dreaded. The final minute taking about 25 minutes. So yeah. Let's have a look at the chat now. If Giles can't get any minutes when Claxton is out, well then when will he get any minutes at all? I mean, it's good having a player like him sitting deeper in your bench, especially if like we need more size. And with Clax out and Dayer on it, you know, in foul trouble, I suspect this wasn't a matchup where Harry Giles potentially could see time. I think it'll be more out of necessity. Let's have a look. Defense, yep, there's none of it. Ben is defense, I don't get it. It is confusing. Man, I just don't understand why this guy loves Royce so much. It's ridiculous. They're going to foul again. Lads, you're down 11 with 40 seconds left. You can't seriously think you're going to win this game. Finally, we're not getting game winnered on 100%. This is a great game to come back to for me. 100%. 100%. I mean, if you circle any games in the first 10 on the calendar as possible games to win, this is the one. I think I can hear Brooklyn chants in the arena. That's crazy. Okay, well, Lonnie split the pair, but finally the Hornets are going to give up fouling and just resign themselves to the fact that they're going to lose this one by 12. Let's have a look in the chat. Cam and Ben seem to be forming a tight combo. They're feeding into one another. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the cohesion, the chemistry it's proven a pretty solid partnership. We should have won that game by 30 points. I really don't know about our coach at all. I don't think it's down to the coach. I think it's down to the on-court defense. And just because Ben didn't play the final 4 minutes of the game, that's not the reason why we conceded 121 points. The defense needs improvement, admittedly. Let's have a look at what else is being said. Cam Thomas is the best basketball player in NYC. At the moment, 100% he is. I mean, the game's done. We win this one, 133-121. Let's have a look at the box score, ladies and gents. But I've seen enough. Cam is averaging 30 and winning MVP. Early bold predictions. I like it. Worried for the Nets if they still let in 100 points to a crap team. I mean, there were a lot of easy buckets for the Hornets, but at the same time, they made a couple tough shots. Brandon Mille had a great first half. JV is probably Royce's uncle, but it is a secret. That's a good assumption. I mean, this guy played the whole last quarter. What the hell did he do to warrant that? I mean, the game wasn't done till about the final 3 minutes of the game. We got to start. Keep starting Ben and Cam. Those two work well. 100%. I was worried Lamelo would score a game winner on us today. He's been renowned to have some absolute heater games in the past. But yeah, that's the game done. Let me just have a look at the box score. We only hit 12-3, so we dried up from 3-point land in the second half. But look at that scoring. I mean, we had 4 players score 19 or more in this win. Lonnie Walker was great off the bench. Second excellent game. The big talking point, though, yet again, is your boy, Cam Thomas. If I do the box score check, you will see that he actually decided to pass the ball eventually, and he got 2 rebounds. But a great game by his standard. Third successive game with 30 and he's only one of a few players to do it in the last 5 or 6 years. Steph Curry, James Harden, Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, and someone else I can't remember. The 5 players to also achieve that feat. So he's in pretty good company. Ben Simmons had another double-double, 11, 10, and 8 to back up his previous game where he had 10, 10, and 8. So nearly an identical stat line there. The only dampener on this loss is Spencer Dinwiddie, who did not play a minute of the second half. I'm not sure what the injury was. You guys claim that he had a bit of an ankle problem in the first half, so maybe that's the problem there. Overall, though, a really good game. Mikal Bridges back to his efficient self, 24 points on 13 shots. And even though he had 5 turnovers, he had 4 in the second quarter. So outside of that, a really strong performance from him. Dayron off the bench, 11 and 8. I take that. Lonnie Walker's got to see a lot more time in the second, not in the second half, in the future, because, you know, I mean, this box score stat line he's putting up is no joke. 19, 5, and 4 is a great stat line off the bench with 3 threes in there and 6 free throws, and some good dimes in there as well. The fact that he started as a replacement for Dinwiddie in the second half is proof that even despite Jacques Vaughn's love for Royce O'Neal, he's got respect for Lonnie Walker's game. So I think we can expect to see more action from him when the team is fully fit. But yeah, I mean, great game. We got to the free throw line in the second half when, you know, things weren't really going our way in that regard in the first quarter. Overall shot the ball really efficiently, and the free throw number obviously got better as the game wore on. The turnovers remained down, and the rebound number, well, we out-rebounded them by 7. So, you know, a very similar rebound stat line to the last game, which is it's good that we're keeping teams off the glass and ensuring those offensive rebounds aren't coming as easily as they were in the first, well, sorry, not in the first, in the last season, because we were one of the worst rebounding teams in the entire league, if not the worst. We continue to not force turnovers, but the Hornets didn't shoot the ball particularly well outside of the field goal percentage there. The free throws, they got to the line a little bit, but nowhere nearly as much as they did in the second quarter when they got back into the game. Some good scoring off the bench from Brandon Mille. Terry Rozier, you know, really grew into the game, and Gordon Hayward and PJ Washington did okay. But, you know, when you're conceding 133 points, you've got a problem. And that 42-point first quarter by the Nets really set up a strong platform for, you know, that 133-point performance. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, got to be jubilated with a win. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Any post-game thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? There's actually a lot of you in chat, given we're still, well, the game's done, but a lot of you are here. So, that's awesome to see. What are your thoughts on anything from this game? Let's have a look. In an off-season interview, CT said he could average 25 a game. I think he underrated himself. He definitely is. Spencer didn't play and we won the game. Curious. Yes, well, Spencer, yeah, he unfortunately was injured, but I think this allowed an opportunity for players like Lonnie Walker, who deserves minutes, to, you know, get that opportunity to prove himself a little bit more. And I think this is a great audition for when, you know, all our players come back. Lonnie Walker needs a spot in the team. It's undisputed. Great job tonight with the play-by-play. Thank you very much. I believe you're new in the chat. I haven't seen you before, so happy to have you here. If Mikal can play like those final minutes, then I feel good about the offense. 100%. I mean, if he can score as efficiently as he did today, we're only going to be strongly benefiting, we're only going to strongly benefit from it. Conspiracy theory, JV boosting Royce and Dinwiddie trade stock. That's That's a good way to think about it. Honestly, didn't think about it that way. Although I think it's just JV and Royce have something going on. Seriously, it's ridiculous. How has he played the entire last quarter? With Dorian Finney-Smith playing an incredibly good game today, 19 points and 7 boards. What's he doing on the bench? Why is Royce in the game? I don't know why I'm complaining, though. I think it's more because I can so see that happening in future instances where the game is close and he plays Royce O'Neal over someone who's got 25 and 6, you know? Love more Lonnie Walker, as we've said, Lonnie Walker's a gun. Cam Thomas is legitimately a contender for Most Improved Player award, maybe an All-Star. Well, he's playing like an All-Star at the moment with the abundance of scoring he's providing. I actually may be very tempted. I'm not a gambler, but I would actually put money on Cam Thomas to win MIP because it's crazy. I mean, the role he had from last year to this year, it couldn't be any more sizably different. So, and obviously we saw what he could do in extended minutes last season. He was scoring at an absurd rate. You know, now that he's getting 30 minutes consistently, I think there's an opportunity for him to score like 25 or more. Voice crack. 25 or more. It's crazy. We need more defense at the end of the game. We can't get into shootouts late. 100%. Because if we fall into a rut, which we can do, especially if Cam Thomas, we can't get the ball to him, well, we're going to be in a world of trouble. We can't be conceding 120 to the Hornets, but it is what it is. If Cam keeps scoring 30 a game, he has to make the All-Star team. He does, dead set, because I wouldn't say there's too many players, if any, that are going to score 30 or have scored 30 in history that won't make the team, or haven't made the team, should I say. The only thing stopping him from continuing to make 30 a game is our coach. Yeah, well, it really depends, because if Mikal really grows into his game as the season wears on, then you can afford to equally distribute the shots and the usage between those two. But, you know, obviously if Mikal is clearly having an off game, then you just give the rock to Cam Thomas and you just tell him to go to work. And that's got to be an instruction from Jacques Vaughn as far as I'm concerned. But I think that's going to do it, honestly. It's been an awesome stream. The only thing stopping Ben from scoring triple doubles is our coach. And potentially Royce O'Neal as well, because, bro, that guy's going to steal his rebounds and he's going to handle the rock when we have no guards on the floor. Well, that's probably Jacques Vaughn's fault. But, I mean, Ben, if he can provide what he provided today and good defense, like 11 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, I think there was a block and a steal in there or something along those lines. If he can, I mean, we can just look at it right now. I'll do it quickly and then I'll head off. He had 1 block. So if he does that on a regular basis, I mean, that's all we need from him. We very clearly can see he scored 11 points. We scored 133 total. We don't need him to go out and score 20 a game, you know? So we just need him to do his job, play defense, ensure that he's not being a liability, essentially, and we're going to be just fine. I'll criticize JV's rotations after 15 games. I think after 15 games, we'll see... Cam Johnson's going to be out for at least 10 more days. So we're not going to have a full team to really base our opinions off. So that's that. I mean, I'll give JV a pass there. But I think you have to remember, and look, I don't think JV is a convincing coach, but you have to also consider the fact, look at the rotation and look how many players on that team are worthy of minutes, you know? So I think whilst it's a lot of his rotations he's not getting right, or some of which he's not getting right. It's very easy to not know the answer. I mean, it is his job, but at the same time, it's probably one of the more difficult rosters to allocate minutes to, because there's no clear number one, and there's a lot of players that are worthy of getting minutes. So it's always going to be a tough thing to navigate there. JV took DFS off when he was getting hot in the third, which was weird. I also think you have to say about that, like last game when we took Cam Thomas off in the third quarter, people were saying you took him off and he was absolutely cooking. But I think we also had forgotten that he'd played 10 minutes of the third quarter straight. And he came on, or maybe he'd played I think he'd played a long stretch of minutes, and they gave him an extensive break so he could actually provide in the final few minutes. You don't want a player that's gassed playing in the final few minutes. I will say that. You don't want players like holding you back because they're fatigued. And I think playing Jacques Vaughn playing Cam Thomas for like the final 4 minutes, as much as it was idiotic at first glance, because obviously he'd been off 6 minutes or whatever, I think we would have seen a worse Cam Thomas if we played him for like 20 of the 24 minutes in the second half. I think he potentially could have been gassed, especially if you thrust all the offensive responsibility onto him, because that can weigh you down. So, yeah. But I think that's going to do it from me. Thank you, everyone, for the positive feedback and the comments and being really engaging. That's obviously always the important thing. We had plenty of chat messages throughout, so that's awesome to see. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you for all staying back as well, because usually a lot of people go away, I mean, understandably, because they've got a life to live post-game. But it's good that quite a few of you, in fact, over half, have stayed back for the post-game, which is awesome. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your feedback and engagement. We will see you in a couple of days' time, as we've said, for Nets Miami. We'll be here from 15 minutes before tip-off. But yeah, that's going to do it from me. Awesome first game, or should I say first win. And let's hope that we can keep the momentum going for the foreseeable future, because there are quite a few tough games on the horizon. But thank you. Yeah, that's going to do it. I need to have a sip of water, some lunch, and get on with my life. So stay safe, and we'll catch you then. Bye for now.